So before you listen to me, right, one thing is this is one video that can be replayed and you can consistently see value from it if you watch and pay attention to me. I've coached multiple people, scaling them from 10 to 50K, including Cyrus. I even helped my friend Fergus close a couple more deals and even get some girls. I can put it on the screen, whatever. I coach a lot of people for manifestation or mindset, right? Whether you choose to believe me or not, whether you choose to believe if this whole thing works or not, truthfully, I don't give a shit. But I am going to tell you what I commonly see go wrong when people are manifesting, right? The first thing is, I see a lot of people, they have doubt in the whole process. They'll see, like, you can go on these comment sections for manifestation. You can see like, hey, oh, I manifested this. And you see oftentimes, and I've done this myself before in the past, right? Where you're going through comments, you're like, oh, this guy manifested this. I wonder why it doesn't work for me. And as our brain, right, we like to find proof for everything, right? But here's the thing that you need to understand. Sometimes you need to be the universe's testimonial. You're going to see proof for anything that you want to see. For example, if I put you in front of an atheist for your whole life, right? You will see proof for that because of comprehension bias. You will try to find facts to support that. Same thing with manifestation or even religion. If I made you sit in front of a Bible, all you're going to see is evidence for Christ existing. Same thing for the manifestation space, right? And the trick is, you know you have manifested things on accident, right? Such as you seeing that person when you were just thinking, you thinking of that person and all of a sudden they call. You, even bad things, right? You have done this before. The trick is that your mind's gonna play on you is that we don't have evidence, but deep down, you know you have evidence because you have done things that, let's just say, you thought about or like even visualized in your head, and it's ended up coming true, right? That's one thing. You need to be the universe's testimonial, and until you come to this fact, right, you need to stop looking for external evidence outside. Right? Because keep this in mind. You can only see, look this up too if you don't believe it, you can only see 0.0035% of reality. So what you're seeing is just a mere illusion, right? Trying to find evidence from a mere illusion is just fucking delusion in itself. Remember, in Genesis, it said, let there be light. Our reticulator activating systems in our eyes, we are allowed to see the world through light. Perception. If you understand that all your reality has been a result of your internal thinking, bag this, right? Wherever you are right now, could be either an entrepreneur watching this, super fucking rich, looking around the skyline, right? Could be at your hometown, right? You have thought about being in there. You visualize that one thought single-handedly of you being in the circumstance. So what if you changed the game and went, I'm at 10K per month. The world has to prove it to you. And the reason why is whatever comes into our mind has to be expressed. This iPhone I'm looking at while I'm recording, it was expressed. This watch that I'm right here, it was in someone's head before they made it. These glasses, hold on. These glasses were in someone's head, and the vision had to be materialized. So whatever you put into your mind has to be materialized, but it has to start with you. And the only way you're going to find proof of it is by internally convicting yourself of that reality, which goes to my second point. A lot of people think that they can just blast affirmations and read it right on a screen and then somehow reality is going to change. Number two, the only thing that can actually change your your reality is your subconscious. Once you come to the realization of this, right, whatever you do consciously, like me and you speaking, for example, is not going to work. Such as you reading the affirmations, it's not going to work. Because the only thing that can actually change your reality is your subconscious. What is your subconscious? Your subconscious runs 90% of your body's function, like me speaking, I don't have to think about it. Me breathing, for example, but it also holds, let's just say, patterns of thinking in yourself. And when you understand this, right, such as the way you talk, the way you act, the way you believe things, even views of points around women and all of this dating crap, right? Maybe traumas are in there too. You will understand the main KPI or the main key performance indicator is going to be your subconscious. This is the only thing that can change reality, right? So what a lot of people do is they'll say, oh, the manifestation space is not true because you have to think and fucking like it'll just come out. That's not true. The only thing that can truly change your mind is your subconscious mind. I need you to understand this because a lot of people, they say that it doesn't work while they're listening to their subs and stuff day to day, but they never played in a relaxed state, or they're visualizing super chaotic shit in their mind because their mind is not under control. What you need to understand, in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, which is, by the way, inside of you, as it said in the Bible, you cannot be in a state of hell. What I mean by is you can't be stressed out, you can't be fucking angry, you can't be mad, right? These are things that are going to block your brain from going into theta wave. So what we need to do is we just need to fucking relax. If you relax, right, and then visualize, meaning that you're kind of like sleepy, you're daisy, this is when you can actually impress your subconscious mind the most. And what we need to do is we need to visualize with the emotion that this reality will give you. Because at the end of the day, you don't even want the 10K per month. You don't even want the watch. You don't even want the house. You don't even want the girl. All you are looking for is a feeling. But if you give yourself that feeling internally, thinketh in his heart, so is he, internally, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to fully internally convict yourself and you're going to be abundant. So those opportunities are going to materialize. Which goes into my third point. Not a lot of people know how the rules of the game work. So when we get into this space, right, we think, oh, visualize, subliminal scripting, 100%, right? Those are all effective methods. But if I were you, I would have a good understanding of how the universe works. Reading books like Parallel Universes of Oneself, Reality Transurfing are good books. You can see multiple millionaires read like you can look this up. Like Iman Gotzi's read this, Cameron England's read this, all this stuff. I've read them, right? I've read over 100, right? The Kabbalion is another good example. But once you have more adept knowledge on how the rules of the game work, you will never even question if things are working. And you will find more comprehension bias for things to explain why manifestation is going to work and why it's the only thing that it is going to work, right? And remember, you can view reality however you want. You can be a Christian, you can be a Muslim. I respect all those things. But as business owners or as people, if you're watching this video long enough, right, we want to optimize for the best way of thinking that will give us leverage. And that is why I've chosen this way of belief. But if you don't have a clear understanding, which is 3, about how the universe works, you will never even know what the fuck you're doing, right? You will never understand what you're doing. And the only thing that can change, I gotta repeat this over time, is your subconscious mind. I repeat. Now, typically, which is number 4, is that when we look into reality, we like to view everything as a fucking problem. Our brain is biologically engineered to solve problems. But what people do is that whatever situation they're currently in, they only focus on the problems. And you can imagine, right? The universe likes magnifying things that we internally believe. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to magnify the problems that you're going through, waiting for reality to change. But reality is a direct reflection of you, so you're going to keep getting more problems. And this has happened to you. This has happened to all of us, right? And what you need to understand is that if we focus on problems, we'll never find solutions. We need to start thinking of life in a way of, hey, I can find the solution. I'm going to focus on the solution. And this problem ain't that deep. But we like to make one problem super deep, right? Whether it is you're in debt, whether it is you're making this agency work, whether it is you're manifesting this girl, we like to think of it as this huge thing, this huge bubble. And when we perceive it, it's this huge thing, right? So it's going to feel challenging. But the thing that your mind, or you might not be accustomed to, is that we can change our perception to essentially anything that we want. Meaning this problem that you're going through is actually small. Remember, if you view something as above you, it will always look down on you and have power over you. But if we viewed whatever we're trying to manifest or these problems as something below us, then we have power over it. And we start to realize that we are capable of becoming this person that can actually tackle this thing. Now, number 5, I'm kind of like speed blitzing. Your thoughts aren't you. So on average, you're going to have 6,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And what people like to do is they like to identify with the bad ones. But in reality, it's your amygdala just shooting out signals into your brain, or even your brain just shooting out thoughts. And the trick is, right, we want to be perfect, but in reality, we're never going to be perfect. It's just something you're going to have to accept. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to have self-doubt, overthinking as you manifest one thing to another thing to another thing. But it's a normal thing to feel self-doubt. It's a normal thing to feel overthinking, because it's an indication that you're changing. Growing pains, as like we would like to call it. So a lot of people, they get trapped into this, right? They will get trapped into this way of thinking. They will start identifying with these thoughts that are playing on autopilot. But what if it just wasn't you? And what this does to your frequency, right, is you start disassociating with those thoughts because they're not you. You start aligning your attention, because wherever attention goes, energy flows. Attention is alignment. You will start perceiving those things and going, this is a good thing because I'm growing, meaning that I'm about to actually transform, right? And when you do this, it is almost impossible to lose, because you are telling your mind, I'm not this. I can observe it, I can see it, but in reality, I am not this. And these are all things I tell my one-on-one clients. They know this thing, right? But I'm giving value because I want to help people, besides the point. The last point that I'm going to make is that with men, it is impossible. But with God, anything is genuinely possible. With men, it is impossible. But with God, anything is possible. A lot of us like to think that we are going to manifest this thing, right? We are going to do, and sure, you set the intention, the choice of actually being able to manifest that thing, but in reality, it's God that is able to bring these things into your life. Having a strong sense of faith in God is going to propel you to manifest things faster, because you are relying on a strength that only loves to create. We are made in God's image. So this whole idea of I need to find God is fucking bullshit, because God is omnipresent and he's with us 24/7. It's like what Socrates says in Discourses when Epictetus is talking. I cannot move without God's notice, because he's everywhere. The whole trick and idea is that God is not with us. And that's bullshit. The energy of creation is in everything. Everything holds a vibratory signature. Everything holds a consciousness to stay where it is. And everything is in, let's just say, God's image, including you. And once you start identifying with the role of the creator or the designer, or let's just say the author of your own storybook, this energy of creation loves this. So for example, if I told God, I hope this agency thing works out, God will go, I hope this agency thing will work out. Or, I hope I get that girl. Well, God will go, okay, I hope he gets that girl. What we need to do is saying, internally, because everything starts internally, I know I'm at 10K per month, for example. I know I'm going to get that girl. And God's going to reflect that, because God only creates. It's his duty. He loves us. He's going to create, right? It's a neutral force. He's going to go, okay, he's at 10K per month. Let's make it happen. But we need to believe in ourselves. We need to have conviction. That's one thing people lack, is conviction. And the only way you're going to really develop conviction is if you build trust with yourself. If you don't build trust with yourself, how can you expect the universe to fundamentally trust you with your desired reality? A lot of people like to associate their self-worth or their conviction to anything external, but you can't control the external. The only thing that you can control is choosing the path and letting God handle it. You might fuck up some days. You might go fucking crazy some days, right? But if you rely on your internal strength or your internal conviction on something that is internal, that is something that will give you more power. So these are a couple things that I see wrong with the space, with providing information, right? But the main gist of this, the main thing I want you to get a hold in this video is that the only thing, if you're worried about something externally, you're not spending enough time internally. That's just it. You're not spending enough internally, or you're accepting something that has happened to you in reality, not understanding that you created it. It's time to take radical responsibility of who we are and what we have manifested and what we have brought onto this reality. Because if we don't fucking do that, we'll never change. Never, never, never change. But yes, if you want extra help, fucking DM me on Instagram. I'd love to talk to you. And you're capable of anything. Truthfully, you are. Don't doubt yourself, because when you doubt yourself, you're obviously doubting God, because we have an aspect of ourselves that is always connected to God. It's stupid. It's silly, truthfully. But I'll catch you guys later. Wow.